Hi everyone, this is Deepak Parekh. Today we will be talking about something which is very close to my heart and I have been striving for past 5 years to achieve that. Grow India. Now typically if we would like to understand the overall perspective of agriculture and the practitioners in agriculture, they feel the most delight when they are working on ground with the farmers. I have taken a new avatar of not just being an agtech professional or an agri entrepreneur, but also a farmer. My company Honeybee, which works with producers on one hand and ecosystem on other, is trying to create an ecosystem where we can deliver farming as a service, connecting agri-tech companies, buyers, exporters, aggregators to those who grow on ground, the farmers, those with land banks, where their land banks can be used to cultivate something which is very important for us, food. So let's understand why it is important to grow in India. So if you see that there are more than 1 billion people who are food insecure currently, and by 2050 we know that another couple of billion people would be added who will require food. At the same time, we are seeing that there is a reduction in productivity because of impact of climate change. This leads us in a situation where 30 to 40% of people across the globe would depend on food from abroad to be food secure. We will be requiring close to 60% more food by 2050, and 1/3 of that would be produced in India. If we see India as an agri economy, the food and agriculture sector of India is around 400 billion US dollars, out of which 39 billion odd is exported, and this is part of $5 trillion pie of food and agriculture globally. Let's understand from the perspective of how the Indian Agri GDP has been for past close to a decade. So if you see that Indian agriculture has gone through its ups and downs, with the highest growth around 2011 and highest fall around 2014. Then we started again getting into the growth curve. Then 2018-19 has not been that great, but in 2020 again we are moving up, and we see that by 2024 India would be having average GDP growth of 8% for agriculture. So that's a great news. No other country in the world would be having 8% year to year agri GDP growth. Second area where you see that Indian agriculture is ripe for investment is the fact that since 1951 there has been a subtle fall in the share of agriculture in overall GDP. So from typically roughly 57% in 1951 falling to roughly 14-ish in 2019. By 2024, you'll see that actually we'll be achieving close to 18 to 19% of India's GDP coming from agriculture. Agriculture is one of the sunshine area when it comes to investments in India. However, Indian agriculture is having some serious challenges. One of that is that not use of scientific way of farming, leading to low productivities, leading to growing crops which are not remunerative or where the demand is not there. All of these lead to a scenario where farmers are not making sufficient amount of money to sustain themselves. In 2017, there was a report which said that typically a monthly farmer income or income of a farming household in India is close to 6,426 rupees. So that's sub $100, and most of the state except Haryana, Punjab and Maharashtra were having very low farmer or monthly farmers income. This need to change, and we need to ensure that Indian farmers are able to make more money by being more productive. And that has also led to need of higher investments in agriculture. So if you see that why grow in India, what are the salient positive points? First, India is ranked among the topmost company when it comes to the cropped area. So with 1.53 million hectares of cultivable cropped area, India is having capability of becoming the food ball of the world for sheer reason that we have the land available for cultivation. Another 20% can also be further, which are wasteland, can be also deployed for agriculture, and some of the state like Gujarat, they have already embarked on path of using wasteland for agriculture by providing incentives. Second reason is that we are having highest number of farmers globally. So when we say that India is having close to 14 crores or 140 million farmers, you are having sufficient capability when it comes to those who can till land. That is very important, and in India farming is seen as a livelihood rather than just an employment. So that's a very important part when you want to create a company and make it a superpower in agriculture. The third reason is that we are having majority of agroclimatical zone as well as type of soil. So out of 60 different type of soil, India do have 45 of them. Similarly, in agroclimatical zone, we have got more than 16 out of 20. That makes India capable of growing 700 different value chain. Currently, we are around 450, but India is having capability of growing majority of food which can be grown in any part of the world. Finally, the number of value chain which can be executed in an efficient manner by adding value addition to the output. India is having that strong capability of availability of labor where food processing or value addition in crops can be done closer to the farm gate than the customer, hence making it more economical to get into agriculture in India than any other part of the world. Now, what can be done? So first thing is that scientific farming is very important to increase yield using holistic approach. Second, correct crop selection to ensure that whatever is being grown is economically viable. Third, achieve efficiency by adoption of technology. And finally, scalable operation for better market access. Now, these are the four areas where Honeybee plays a very vital role in connecting the dots. Whether it is adoption of technology, we are working very closely with agtech companies to bring those technology in a scalable manner to the farm. Whether it is about scientific farming methods, we work with multiple stakeholders using local and global GAP and using that on farm to enhance yields by reducing use of inputs, whether it is water or seeds or fertilizer or pesticides, and right crop selection by analysis of demand across the world as well as local area. We are able to identify right crops which can give economic viability for the growers and as well as access to value chains. So food is having, I'll say that, a long value chains. We try to shorten that by ensuring that the food moves from the farm gate to the fork in shortest possible manner. So this is where working on an ecosystem farming as a service model, we are able to connect those dots. Now let's understand a little bit of based on our experiences of past 3 years. Most of these experiences we have shared is from Gujarat to tell you that how within the same geography different models can lead to different values. While we have worked across multiple zones, multiple countries, we would just talk about 3 examples from Gujarat. So in central Gujarat, 100 hectares vegetable farmers, 700 of them predominantly marginal and small farmers. starting with 18% increase in productivity, 34% increase in profitability, and 10% reduction in cultivation, to the level where they were having profitability of more than 108% at the end of 3 years, based on increased productivity by 51% and reduction of cost of cultivation as much as 58%. Now, the vegetable we are talking about are okra, cauliflowers, brinjals, lettuce. So there is a possibility just in vegetable crops to double farmers or producers' income over a span of 3 years. The next example I would talk about would be potatoes. So in northern Gujarat, 300 hectares, roughly 200 farmers, and these are typically medium-sized farmers, farmers which are having between 1 hectares going all the way to 3.5 hectares of land holding. There you see the impact has been where their increase in profitability was 125% in 3 years, starting with in the first year 30%, and when we talk about increase in productivity, 48% increase in productivity over 3 years and 70% reduction in cost of cultivation. Again, based on scientific method, if you cultivate potatoes, you would be using far less inputs than what you are using today. We have not calculated the cost of water saved, but when you do scientific farming, specifically in tuber-based crops like potato, you'll find that you save close to 45 to 50% of water by using drip, sprinklers, and right planning of irrigation itself. The third example is we talk about in Western Gujarat, the farmers who were growing fruits. These were the large farmers, typically like those having 5 to 8 hectares of land holding and typically doing monocropping. And we were able to increase we've seen the increase in their profitability by close to 180%. For a very simple reason is that there was substantial enhancement in productivity by more than 72% and substantial reduction in cost of cultivation by 42%. Now these three examples make you understand that by working in fruits and vegetable sector, there is possibility of achieving humongous increase in productivity, substantial reduction in cost of cultivation, while also being sustainable by reducing the use of water as well as chemicals. When you put all these things together, the scientific agriculture can increase the profitability of growers by from 180% to 108% depending on the crop you're working within the span of 3 years. Now that's create a huge opportunity for those who want to invest in agriculture sector. Let's take some example. For example, if you are growing garlic in central Gujarat, you would be having per acre profitability of roughly $3,000. That's per annum. Similarly, turmeric will give you approximately 3,500 to 4,000 US dollars. Moringa, $10,000. Pomegranate, again close to roughly 6,000 odd dollars per acre. Gooseberry will give you again $5,000. So these are some of the crops which can give you humongous return of investment if done in a scientific manner. In fact, the crops like blueberry and moringa can give you very, very high profitabilities. But again, it's very important that the farming is done in a scientific manner with different dots to be connected, whether it's about market linkages, whether it is about processing, whether it is about transportation, whether it is about ensuring that you understand the demand. Now, our journey has been, I'll say that, wide across multiple geographies. We have learned from close to 100,000 farmers, 300 global agribusiness CXOs, right, across 16 countries, million hectares, various stage of commercial engagement in 3 continents. So we have done our bit to understand that the maximum value you can give to agriculture ecosystem is to farming as a service, where you get all different stakeholders, whether it is tech companies, whether it is biotech companies, whether it is seed input providers, whether it is commodity buyers, and the landholders, corporates, putting all of them together along with farmers, creating win-win situation for everyone. We work on a very simple, I'd say that, business process flow, where first we do the business feasibility and planning. Next is farm and crop plans, then agronomic support, monitoring and intervention, technical adoption, market linkages and scaling. We are already working with some of the best players who are having huge land holdings, and we are looking for support from technology companies from across the world, those who are looking for a specific type of commodities to be produced in very efficient manner, those who want to have fruits, vegetables, non-processed, semi-processed, fully processed. We have those engagement where we can create mutual partnerships for delivering value to both the buyer as well as those who are the producers. Honeybee's intervention model is very simple, that we work end to end. We are not there just to give you a technology. While we work with technology providers to ensure that technology can be implemented in the farms in a scalable manner. We work very closely with the buyers. We don't just try to be their vendor who deliver them the commodity. We work closely in partnership to create value for them by cultivating for them somebody who's requiring tomatoes, potatoes, onions, garlic. So based on their demand, we circle back and find out who are the growers who can grow it, get into those agreements and ensure that they grow exactly as per your demand. Third area is where we work very closely with the farmers and ensure there is increase in money in their pocket. With these three guiding principles, we work very efficiently to make agriculture ecosystem robust and remunerative for all the stakeholders. I hope in case you are working in agriculture sector, whether you are a corporation looking to invest in agriculture, whether you are a company based outside India who see India as an agriculture opportunity, who want to invest in India, India is open for foreign direct investment on automatic route up to 100% for controlled farming. So typically greenhouses, glass houses, vertical farms, all of those international players are welcome with 100% automatic route of FDI. So we look forward to work with those who want to make India a food ball of the world. So grow India.